Hey, how y'all doing? Rashad the Great here, back with another video. Previously, I did a video about how does debt affect the heart, but now I'm gonna do a video about how debt affects the mind. Yes, we always talk about mental health, but we never realize that some people believe in, chakra. Some people believe in different things of that nature. But I believe that there's more practical things you can do to be debt free and that you can work on your mental health. Yes, do exercise. Yes, do therapy. Yes, talk to a preacher. Yes, talk to a counselor. Do all those things. Yes, exercise. Yes, meditate. Yes, eat healthy foods. But I'm going to tell you how badly debt is affecting your mental health. And mental health is a hot topic word. We hear it everywhere. We hear it over here, we hear it over there, we hear it on the news, we hear it in different blogs, but we don't talk about how debt is affecting your mental health. A lot of people try to get you in debt. A lot of people try to make debt seems like a cool and a good thing, but it's not, because it's affecting not just your heart, but it's also affecting your mind. The first way, again, having debt and having unwanted and unneeded stress in your life is going to cause more stress. More stress on your heart, more stress on your mind, more stress on your body. And yes, we should have some type of stress, because the only time a muscle grows is when it's under stress, when it's under a heavy workload. But we don't need unnecessary stress that comes from debt, that comes from negative people or toxic people from our lives. We got to remove the unwanted negative stress so we can do our best and be what God wants us and creates us to be. Number two, it causes mental issues. It causes mental issues. Being in debt causes mental issues like you wouldn't believe. It causes a lot of mental illnesses. Like I said, it causes different mental health issues. For example, you can become more suicidal when you are under a lot of stress. Yes, suicidal. Most people don't realize that when you're in have money issues and money anxiety, not only does it wage war on your heart, but it also wages war on your mind. It causes increased depression, as well as it causes people to basically have suicidal thoughts. I know for myself, I didn't want to live when I was in debt. I was highly stressed, highly anxious, depressed, and I didn't want to get out of bed some days. But I had something driving me, and I had that debt driving me and motivated me to get out there and get it, to go out there and get that money, to get that bag. And you gotta have that internal drive, no matter if you have money or don't have money. You gotta have that internal drive, that battery pack on your back, to make sure you can live life where you want to, and that you can achieve the highest dreams possible. Also, number three, it causes physical stress. Being physical stress, like I got into, not only your heart disease and depression, but it also causes headaches, sleepless nights, anxiety. It allows your ability to focus. And if you're not getting your sleep, you cannot be the best person. If you're not getting your 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you're not being the best person you can be. Think about it. This culture, we're so addicted to coffee and we're so addicted to caffeine that we can't live without it. We can't go a week or 1 month without it. I don't like caffeine because it already is a hard enough time for me to sleep. And when you sleep, you can't focus. When you focus, you can't be the best. You don't have the energy to kill workouts. You don't have the energy, and you're moody, you're irritable, and you don't have the same get up and go or energy as you once had when you don't have energy. It's harder to get out of bed. It's harder to have good relationships and harder to have good friendships when you don't have sleep. And when I was in debt, I didn't sleep as good as I do now. I mean, it's hard to sleep because, as a man, as an ambitious person, you want to have that give up and go. You want to be motivated. You got a lot of stress and a lot of goals you want to accomplish. And sometimes life gets to you. But it's even worse when you're in debt. You feel like life doesn't have no purpose. You feel like you're just trying to live to pay bills. Trust me, I've been there, and I don't want you to go through it. That's why I practice, and I will always preach: get out of debt as soon as possible, as fast as possible, work 2 or 3 jobs, do whatever it takes legally and morally and ethically to get out of debt, because you can do it. With God, all things are possible. You can do all things, and with Christ, you can do all things through Christ, who strengthens you. Number 4, it changes your behavior. Like I said, it makes you more irritable. It makes you quick tempered with people. I know if I'm not getting enough sleep, or when I was in stress and I was worried, I wasn't be able to be the best boyfriend or the best son I could be because I was in debt. And I felt like it was a weight and a tension on my heart, and just I felt anxiety, and I felt like someone was literally choking me out, had a foot on my neck, and that was tapping me out, and there was like a spirit tapping me out, and I just didn't want to live. Sometimes I didn't want to breathe. I didn't want to keep doing the same thing day after day, but I kept striving, and here I am, debt free, and I just worked 6 to 7 days a week for months at a time. So some days I worked 12 days straight. I had overtime in a part-time position. I was just working and getting after it, and I had family support. I had family financial support. I had family praying for me, and you're gonna need that along your journey to become the best person you can be. I didn't have much friends, but I had a lot of family support, a lot of people behind me that wanted to see me win and was willing to help me in any way or shape or form they could. If they could send $1 my way, if they could send a prayer up, whatever it take, I was able to have people, and you have to have a team around you, because that's how you accomplish great things, with a great team, and you're able to accomplish things faster and go further when you have a pack than when you are a lone wolf. That's why you see wolves hunt together. That's why you see lions have a pack and they join together as well. And even every animal hunts usually, except for tigers, they usually hunt in herds together, because teamwork truly does make the dream work. Also, we have our behavior. It also changes your eating habits. You don't want to have the feeling of eating, you might want to just stay in bed all day, or you might be eating too much, so you can use food as a coping mechanism and as a way as a comfort and as a crutch. You might go to your favorite foods more likely, and you just get in a state of depression, and the cycle continues and repeats itself. Step 5, your spending habits. When you're in debt, in order to get out of that depression, you may have retail therapy. You may overspend. You might not be able to stick to your budget. Again, when you're in debt, you're not thinking clearly. There are studies that show that when you're out of debt, it changes the physiology of your brain and allows your brain to be able to work more efficiently and more effectively. I repeat, it changes the physiology, the shape, the way your brain is shaped. It changes the way your brain is shaped. And when you're debt free, it allows your brain to think more efficiently and effectively, because you don't have that anxiety and you don't have that stress that's weighed upon your brain. And I will link to all these articles and studies to show you the proof, because I know people would like receipts, and I love receipts too. So I'm going to show you the proof is in the pudding, how all this stuff affects your brain. And being debt free, again, is more than securing your bag. It's about securing your health and securing your legacy. So where are we at? Number 1 was it creates more stress on you and your brain. 2, it gives you a higher chance of mental illness. Number 3, it increases physical issues. Number 4, it changes your behavior. Number 5, it changes your spending habits. And number 6, what it does to you, it also increases your use of drugs and alcohol. Again, it's about how you cope with things. If you don't cope with things with prayer, with counseling, with therapy and exercise, when life hits you, you're gonna have retail therapy. When life hits you, you're gonna run to that bottle. When life hits you, you're gonna smoke that smoke, drink that drink, smoke that weed, vape up, use that hookah. So what I'm trying to tell you is all these things, drugs, alcohol, it all affects your mental health. Depression, anxiety, stress, it all affects your mental health. So the number one way that some people don't believe in prayer, but I do. Some people don't believe in church, but I do. Some people don't believe in exercise or think they're too busy for exercise. But I say you might be too busy for exercise, but you're not gonna be too busy for your funeral. You're gonna make time for that. If you don't make time for exercise, you're gonna make time for that funeral sooner or later. So again, secure that bag, become healthy, become happy, so you can have happy and healthy and wealthy relationships that can turn into happy, healthy, and wealthy marriages. It's Rashad the Great. I'm concerned about your mental health. I'm concerned way more about your physical health. But you can do it. With God, we can do all things but fail. God can do anything but fail. With God, with God, we can do all things through Christ that strengthens us. So have a great day. Rashad the Great. I'm out. Have a great one. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn your notifications on.